Okay, so as an update, Jetly Wayne here. What's up? Shit. Anyways, just was thinking about this thing for the past couple of days. It runs and stuff, but I don't really feel like fucking with it. Needs some work. One of the things that's been really annoying that I really couldn't figure out is somebody broke in and stole my radio and shit when I first got the car. Well, I tried to wire a stock one back in, and this harness is just dead. It doesn't do anything. It won't power up the old stereo. I also don't know what half of this shit is for, like this. I think that was for the stereo that was in it. Well, it's still wired up to stuff. I have no clue what it does. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is I got like a little Cove Bluetooth speaker or something, you know, like the shit that Hoonigan guys have been using. And I'm probably just gonna mount it up here to hide this. Not really sure what it's from, but it was in the car the day I got it. And if you look at it, kinda looks like maybe a bullet or something. I don't know. This car's probably more gangster than I am. So the plan for this hole here is to make a aluminum sheet metal shroud here and just load it up with gauges. Well, I'm not even using this piece of shit anymore. Fuck that. Let's see what I got here. But I got the Evo oil pressure, the Evo boost pressure. I got an AEM wideband. I've been buying stuff like that for this thing for crazy, just to, you know, change it up. I want to change the setup and just make it super clean, like make it look super pro. You know, I don't want it to be just some ghetto hack setup that I had, but I was running out of money. I did already spend a lot of money on this car, if you can imagine. So the first thing on my to-do list is figure out how I'm going to block this off. And then I'm probably just going to take this harness here and just remove it from the car completely. It's weight, and get some money for it. It's all copper. JK. But I'm going to figure out how to remove this harness so it's just not in there dangling around and stuff. I checked the fuse. Even though I changed the fuse, it still wouldn't bring the radio on. So I'm pretty sure this harness is just fucked. So sheet metal shroud, put some gauges in it. Maybe a switch panel for a fuel pump, because I was running the fuel pump in the tank. And there's a resistor up under the hood, and it doesn't provide the pump with enough power. So I'm put the fuel pump on a switch with a hot wire for 14 volts from the alternator here. And then what else could I do? I'm thinking about going electric water pump, which will get rid of the belt system that I had to make, which is actually pretty clever. I don't know yet. So possibly electric water pump. And then, so I'm ditching the stock fuel tank. I'm just going to take it out completely because I have a fuel cell. So let's walk through all this real quick. There's a lot of it. Anyways, I'm ditching the stock fuel tank. I'm going to ditch this air-to-water intercooler for a proper front mount from CX Racing. And then it comes with the math bung and shit. So I won't have to run that like that anymore. I'll just be able to put a filter on it. I don't know if I should do anything with the water pump. My setup's actually, it worked very well. What else? I'm going to keep the over the valve cover intake manifold and not do front mount, because it's a headache. I have one and I tried to put it on. It was bitch getting a throttle body, fucking vacuum leaks, all kinds of crap. This fuel rail is going bye-bye. I have a stock one that's modded for a fuel pressure regulator. The downpipe and the exhaust will probably stay the same. That stuff was on point. I'm gonna relocate the battery and the fuse box to the trunk and just extend all the wires from the trunk up to the engine bay here. The radiator, I never got my mounts or whatever. I'm gonna have to call the guy. And then the ECU. So I have emissions. I have to run this. and I have to put some oxygen sensors on it and at least try to get it to pass emissions. I can get a waiver if I tell them that I had to do most of this work because the engine was messed up and it wouldn't run or whatever. Maybe they'll give me a waiver, but I doubt it. They're gonna be like, oh, turbo, intercooler, boost pipes. And be like, well, whatever. And then I'm thinking about getting some over fenders. I already got the TRD side skirts. I'm gonna fill this hole in, do some body work on it. I did realize, would you just look at that? Would you just look at that? What is that? Car didn't make any power. Yeah, car's fucking slow. All that other shit just cracks wheels. And then I'm going LS400 big brake kit. I'm just gonna get brakes for an LS400, swap the calipers, swap the rotors, stuff like that. I like the tint. I'm not doing anything with the inside of the car. The inside of the car is actually pretty damn clean. And then since I'm ditching the fuel tank, this fuel cell that I was going to use for the air to water intercooler will now be my new fuel tank. I'll get an inline pump, a surge tank, I'll mount it up, and then I'll mount the surge tank and the pump and stuff in the spare tire hole. I'm gonna put the oil coolers back on. This is the radio and stuff. I broke it because it didn't work. I was pissed off, whatever. The exhaust, I'm leaving the downpipe, but after the downpipe gets to like here, it goes 2 1/4 all the way back, and it's a Megan racing kit, but I'm gonna bump it up 3 inches all the way out to this MagnaFlow resonator that's on the back here that I'm using as a muffler. MagnaFlow resonator's 3 inch, so all I have to do is bend a little bit of pipe from the downpipe to the resonator. I'm probably going to be getting some new wheels, even though I really like these ones in the front. Probably going to be getting some new wheels since I cracked the one wheel. On the over fenders, this side's almost perfect. Half of a TRD body kit, so I'm getting the over fenders, TRD front bumper, since this one, like, I mean, I can't drift at all. I can't do anything. Car makes no power. So yeah, some turn signal markers, new front bumper. And it's probably gonna make my own custom fog light setup. I'm thinking about the Altezza grill, stuff like that. What else? Oh, but changes to the engine. So this head has stock valves, BC Racing springs retainers. It's ported on the intake and the exhaust side. So changes to the head are going to be Super Tech valves. They're going to be plus 2 millimeters. So I'll have to send the head out to get a little bit of work. I'm going to deck the head this time and get some more compression. Deck the block, get a little more compression. But I'm still trying to keep compression low because I like to run a little more boost. Everybody's breaking ring lands on these, and that's about the only thing I haven't broke yet is a ring land. Timing belt, I'll just get a new one because it's soaked in oil. My oil pump's been leaking. Drives me fucking nuts. The turbo will probably stay the same for now, but I am planning on ordering something a little bigger. Just to play around with. The block. So I'm ordering another set of CX racing rods. They seem to have lasted, I mean, this thing went through knock like 3 or 4 different times. Just kept using the same rods even though I know I'm not supposed to, and they're still holding together. This bitch is knocking. I'm on like the gate springs 22 pounds, and it's still knocking, still holding together. Haven't thrown a rod, so I'm gonna keep using the CX racing rods. Seem to work well. Pistons. So I ordered stock Reman GTE pistons that were forged, and I think I'm going to go JE pistons, some low comp JE pistons, forged, whatever. And I already did this, and everybody's gonna shame me for it. but Brian Crower 3.4 liter stroker. I got the crank, and we're gonna rip the block out. We're gonna do the crank, and I might even give it a little overbore. I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna take it from 3 liter to 3.4 to 3.6, depending on how I'm feeling and what's in budget. But since I already have turbo, boost piping, timing belt, the head's half-ass built and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot cheaper for me this season when I try and get to rebuilding this thing. But I think I'm going to find somewhere to mount this fuel pressure regulator finally. Going to be using the fuel cell instead of the stock fuel tank, so the fuel system's getting a major upgrade. Probably delete the heater core and stuff. Who needs heat in a race car? I already looped it back and just deleted it. My oil pressure sensor's down there already. I already tested it. Oil pressure's super low. That's why she's knocking, because it's leaking. You can't tell. Get all that wet. Get all that wet. But as far as the knocking goes, one of the guys that I'm pretty close friends with out here that works at the machine shop, he did his, and he said it blew up a few times because he wasn't changing the oil pump O-rings nor the O-ring on the upper oil pan. And what that does is the O-ring flattens out over time after you torque the pan down. And if you torque the pan down and try and reuse the same O-rings, when they flatten out, it allows air to cavitate in the oil system. And when air cavitates in the oil system, you chew up rod bearings like crazy. I gotta go get another tag and stuff for it. Doesn't matter, it can sit here. Stickers, gotta add that horsepower. I thought originally it was because I used the original block that was in it, and it had like 400,000 miles on it. Nah, he told me it should be okay. I just gotta change the O-rings, and that's what's cooking my bearings and stuff. But I do plan on getting rid of this hole in the hood, getting a proper intercooler setup in the bumper, and a water meth setup. Water meth, it's pretty awesome shit. But I want to make it a little more sleeper. I don't want people to see the blow off that I had in there hanging out of my hood. And I just got a TIG welder, so I'll weld the pipes instead of just use a whole shit ton of couplers. And well, I hope you guys like my video. I know you guys don't like my cars. Let's go down here, show you this thing. Everybody hates it too. But there's some controversy. You did all that work to get pulled on by a stock GS400. Goddamn right. I mean, well, he said stock GS300, but let's go on and show you some badges here. And then, so this has Tanab Medallion exhaust, but it's converted to true dual. And then, bigger tires, 235s. 215 is what's supposed to be on here, but I fit some 235s on it. Let's see what else we could do. Maybe I open the hood. I'll show you guys my bone stock engine here again real quick. Start it up so you guys can hear some sounds. Neighbor hates me, sets his car alarm off every time. I'm about to set his car alarm off right now because I don't give a fuck. Yep, that's a 3 liter for sure. Definitely a 3 liter. But it's got the SRT intake, the SRT chip, ported intake manifold, ported heads. No air filter, because fuck it. But I'll go off to the side here. It's also been lowered like an inch. Done some body work. Keeps setting his alarm off. He's getting so shitty with me, I swear to God. My buddy's got an Evo 10, and we were playing around the other day because it snowed here and it's all melted now. But he said his Evo 10 on 30 pounds has nothing on this guy. I thought that was funny. I thought that was really funny. But anyways, I'm gonna go and end this video for you guys. Just going through the plans and stuff here. I do think I might get a 4.7 liter ECU and try and run the 4.7 liter ECU in here. See if that'll give me a little more power. I'm not so sure if it will or if it won't. But also, this car is also a pretty high mileage car. It's not 400K, but 230K. I just did the timing belt and stuff. Got an oxygen sensor code and some other stuff like that. I'll show you what's in the trunk, but there's nothing fancy. It's just some subs. Anyways, Jet Wayne, I'm gonna get out of here. Just figured I'd go through what the plan for next season is, because I've already started buying stuff, and I'm just gonna do the same thing I did last year and stack a whole bunch of stuff up until I feel like I have enough to get started. And then when I get started, I'll try and, like, I'm working on getting some GoPros so that, like, I can actually go through the actual, like, engine building process and not just show clips or, you know, vlog about what I've done, and actually show you guys what I do and get down. Super clean car.